Greetings, great people. Today we are talking narcissism. This topic came because somebody requested that I dissect the subject of narcissism in intimate or romantic relationship. Often, people diagnose and label their partners, calling them names like psychopath or narcissistic. In my view, this is damaging to the other person's image and also to the relationship itself. For once you start calling them names, you start to treat them as such, and you start to relate to them according to your label. In my line of work, to make a diagnosis, we are guided by Diagnostic Statistical Manual for Mental Health, in abbreviation DSM-5. Diagnosis is not based on a single symptom, but for a person to meet the diagnostic criteria, a few items are taken into consideration. After today's insightful dialogue, you will find out if he is really narcissist or you are the one who is narcissist, and now you are projecting yourself in your partner. Or maybe both of you are narcissists. It is important to know that one narcissist can present very differently than the next. Secondly, it is important to know that a person might have narcissist traits and not meet the diagnostic criteria for narcissism personality disorder, abbreviation NPD. Interacting with a narcissist can be draining. It's just exhausting. Now, let us first look into what might cause a person to have narcissism personality disorder or narcissist traits. Firstly, narcissism is a pathological development, meaning things were not done right when this person was developing as a child. People tend to have narcissist traits because of their perceived lack of love. This is what they think happened to them. They believe they were never loved. It might be true or it might not be true. And this might happen in families where children are born without appropriate age gap. There is a recommended age gap between the children. But when we look at a situation where children have an age gap of 2 years, it tells that the parents will not be able to give them love, or one of the children will suffer and the other will get more attention. And this results in emotional trauma. Narcissist partners are also from a family of heartless or merciless guardians or parents. Like we said, it is a development pathology. There are also people raised by distant parents, parents who are available and not available at the same time. A parent who is home but busy with himself, busy with other things, not having time to play with or interact with her children or his children. And the parent might also be distant because they are going through difficulties, or the guardian if the parents are not there. And they are also the product of parents or guardians who are hyper critical. They don't find anything good in the child. They just find everything wrong. They are also born by parents or guardians who neglect them, and parents or guardians who are unpredictable. You don't know if today the parent will be smiling, or today you have to run under the bed or run next door. You don't know if today they will receive you when you go to them, or they will tell you how busy they are, how much you are disturbing them. And this, to a child, it causes emotional wounds. Narcissists are also born by parents whose tongue are guided by excessive criticism. And some, they are from abusive environment. It could be abuse in a form of physical abuse, where they grow seeing their parents physically abusing each other. Or it could be from a verbal abuse, where they hear parents throwing words and hurtful words to each other. It could be an environment where there is emotional abuse. They see the silence. Children are very observant. They see when you are giving each other silent treatment. They see when you act like you are okay and you are not okay, and that hurt them. Experiencing childhood trauma can also cause someone later in life to have traits or characteristics of a narcissist. Experiencing trauma like a death of a parent. Sudden death is very traumatic to adults. What about children? Childhood trauma can also mean molestation. Some children are molested. Some are being exposed to adult stuff at a tender age. That can also damage them. Some is because they go through severe rejection, just to mention a few. And this causes emotional wounds in the person's life. Parents who are extremely high in expectation can also breed narcissist kind of children. Parents who devalue their child, maybe even comparing them with their siblings or comparing them with other children in their neighborhoods or their street. This causes the child to create an internalized grandiose self as a defense mechanism. The child whose emotional needs are not met can also be a narcissist later in life. And narcissists are not only coming from negativity, they are also coming from positive side but overemphasized, like parents who overpraise their children. When a parent focuses intensely on the child appearance, and you keep telling this child how beautiful, how handsome, no other child is like them, the more you overpraise them, you are creating a problem. Or maybe you praise their talent, but you overdo it. And also, you pamper them excessively. That also causes a problem in these children. Then later on, they have the traits or characteristics of a narcissist. Narcissist people, they are wounded inside. They are trying to protect their fragile inner core sense of self. And there are types of narcissist traits, especially in a romantic relationship. There are two kinds that we will look at today. There are those who express their narcissism as grandiose, and there are those that are vulnerable. Signs of narcissism are not always as obvious as media portrayals will have you believe. However, there are some of the outward signs that will guide you to detect if your partner is narcissistic or not. Let us start by looking deeply into the grandiose type, the bragging and showing off type. They tend to brag about their abilities. They tend to brag about their skill or accomplishments, always bragging about having the latest gadgets or living great. They have no problem telling everyone how great they are, even to strangers. This attitude takes place because they were treated as if they were superior in their early childhood, and they move through life expecting this type of treatment to continue. They tend to be more confident and less sensitive. Some are aggressive and domineering. They are really bossy. The grandiose narcissists are more likely to openly engage in infidelity. And if they want to leave their partner, they can do that abruptly so. And they don't even have remorse. Especially if they feel they are not getting special treatment that they think they are entitled to, then they abruptly just leave. Vamos. And the other type is the vulnerable narcissist. They are much more emotionally sensitive. Their narcissism serves as a disguise, protecting deeper feeling of inadequacy and incompetency. The vulnerable narcissist swing back and forth between feeling superior and inferior, and they often feel victimized, and they believe they are the victims. This type of narcissism usually develops in early childhood as a coping mechanism to deal with abuse or neglect. It could be that this is how they were comforting themselves when they were neglected or they were going through an abuse that the parents were not aware of, or the parents were turning a blind eye. They often worry about how their partner perceives them. It's all about how other people see them and think about them. They can be very possessive. In a relationship, they are so possessive, they are jealous and paranoid. They are paranoid about their partners having flings or affairs. Once they are paranoid, it means they don't have proof and they can't even prove it. And when we summarize narcissism in a romantic relationship, we can say they are really quite superficial, and there is no such thing as deep conversation with a true narcissist. Every time you engage with them in any manner of conversation, they are superficial. They don't want to go deep into the conversation or the issue that is on the table. And at glance, they are likable. The first time you see them, they are likable. But the image you see at the beginning, which is positive, over a longer time, it turns out to be more negative. They are motivated to fish for compliments because of their exaggerated need for validation. They need to be validated at all times. They can become hostile, especially when criticized. Even with a constructive criticism, they don't take it easy. They don't take it at all. They tend to be perfectionist. They do take care of their appearance and place an importance on looking physically attractive. But not everyone who makes a point to take care of their appearance is a narcissist. Please understand that. Remember that with them, everything is extreme. So there is nothing wrong when people are taking care of themselves. But the moment it becomes extreme, then a red flag is in the air. The classic type are obsessed with their bodies. They are obsessed about staying younger, and they are obsessed with their external appearance. They want to be validated that they are looking good, their appearance is appropriate. Often they even ask, how do I look? If you keep quiet. They spend a lot of time in front of the mirror because it's all about what people think of them. The narcissist people think they are hotter. They think they are smarter and just generally better than everyone. They are control freaks in a relationship, so they tend to not communicate very well. As we said, they are superficial and certainly don't work as part of a team in this relationship. They are just in their own world. They like nice things. And to say that they like nice things, it doesn't mean all shopaholics are narcissists. But one of the trademark trait of narcissism is their desire to display high status. Hence, they like nice things. And this is often done with material items. Often it's about clothes. And in their talk, they are more likely to emphasize how respected they are when they dress up like whatever they believe in. And in their talk, they also emphasize the status-oriented part of the item that they are putting on, how much it costs, and who designed it, where it comes from. Is all about that. Some may not follow the rules because of their sense of entitlement. There are rules in every relationship. In every romantic or intimate relationship, there are rules, but they don't follow the rules. They are incapable of self-reflection. They can't do it. If you ask them to reflect, you are talking a foreign language. They will never understand what you are saying. And they are unable to take responsibility for their own actions. And what they know best is to play the blame game. They did 1, 2, 3 because you did ABC. They acted this way because you said this. They did 1, 2, 3 because you didn't put ABC into place. They know the blame game very well. And they possess an obvious lack of empathy of others. It's all about them. They may be overly critical of others. When you comment good about other people, what they will comment is all negative. What they see from others is all negative because they feel threatened. They lack boundaries due to their sense of entitlement. So, this is how they are in a relationship. And now, let us look at the inward signal. We just look at what we can see, the outward signal. But there are also the inward signal. And this you will know when you listen to how you feel about them. You can tell by how they make you feel that here I'm dealing with a narcissist. They will make you feel truly special at the beginning of the relationship. They know how to do it. And they may shower you with compliments or take you on a great journeys. And they will make you explore the world. You will really feel special. They will make you feel so good that you may just ignore some of the early warning signs. And after you are completely drawn in, the narcissist partner is going to start changing it up and become manipulative. It will be subtle at the beginning, but over time, you will start doubting yourself, and you may even find yourself living in a midst of confusion. You are not sure if you are the one who's wrong or if you are being manipulated. You may feel like you are just not good enough and you can't do anything right. Your self-esteem will be stripped away and you will be forever walking on eggshells, trying to appease the person who once made you feel incredibly special. Things have changed now. The tables have turned around. Intense research reveals that men are more likely to be narcissists than women. However, there are women who are also narcissists. And narcissism only affects a small percentage of people. Only a small percentage. But in my line of work, most of the time, when people are having relationship problems, they already label their partners as narcissists, as psychopaths. Maybe you are wrong, but you are facing a challenge, but not really that your partner is a narcissist. I believe from the dialogue of this afternoon, you will be able to tell if really your partner is a narcissist or he is having some traits of narcissist. Or maybe you are the one who is narcissist. And research refutes that narcissist people are secretly low in self-esteem, but instead they seem to be confident through and through. This was part 1 of narcissism in romantic relationship. Stay tuned. We will have part 2 of narcissism in romantic relationship. We will even go and visit the bedroom of narcissist relationship.